All righty, we are here. For anybody wondering where we were, very weird. Lights out on my thingy there. No, I don't have to do that. 8 o'clock. Is the frequency in use? All right, nothing heard. Is what else do I need to know? Is the frequency in use? Is there any for emergency or priority traffic? Very good. This is Paul, K4PEW at the Mountain Juliet Simplex Radio Net. What else do we want to do? Net may be broken anytime for emergency traffic or problems. Well, serious problems. Okay, for information on this net, you can see us at on YouTube here. You want to make sure to go to YouTube, which is look me up under K4PEW or on the search block or Brain Trust, just one word. And you can see me there, or you can go to, where else can you go to? You go to your Yahoo groups, MJ_SS, or you can go to the website, 146.415.net. And or you can email me at k4pew@arrl.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night at this time. We conduct the net at 146.415 FM Simplex. The purpose of the net is to have fun and, well, to help people get motivated to do better on their stations, antennas, procedures, and everything else. We invite everyone to use a net to announce amateur radio events and activities. Is there anyone who has any announcements at this time? Hang on one second, please. All right, I'm back. Trying to make sure something was said on the radio correctly. Announcements. I have some announcements. Then the first announcements is that the breakfast went very well today. I didn't actually count, but it was about 15 or 16, might have been 17 people there at breakfast. We had a good time. You guys make a point to show up one of these days. We had somebody come up. Well, we had everybody come up, but it was, like I said, 16 or 17 is an awesome thing for just a nice breakfast between hams who have similar interests in ham rating. Also coming up is Field Day. That's January 22nd, at least for the Wilson County Amateur, 22nd, 23rd, Amateur. Wilson County Amateur Radio Club is having their event at Boxwell Boy Scout Camp, which is north of Lebanon a little ways. It's up 109, actually. But you can look that up. If you need the information, contact me directly. And I don't think I have any other announcements, although this we've got Field Day. And of course, July 27th is the Ham Quest at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. So you want to make sure to not miss that. Put it on your calendar for July 27th. A couple of big vendors there, big ham vendors that is. And plus they have somewhere, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, I don't know how many tables, but there's a bunch. And a lot of people will be selling stuff. And you can go visit the same boat anchors you saw last year. Not all of them. Obviously, there's lots of stuff being sold. But you can't. For $5, it's a good time. All right. Does anybody have anything else or any questions or concerns? Remember, the breakfast again is 2 weeks from today. It's the 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month at 8 a.m. and it's Courtney's in Mount Juliet. And this is version number 491 of the net. 491. I'll make a note of that. You kind of keep track of that. 491, and this week we start from the west. So we're going to be starting from the west momentarily. All righty, no more questions, no more answers, nothing. No more announcements. Very good. All right, then we'll start taking check-ins from the west of Mount Juliet. Please come in.
KM4YRS.
Hello, good to see you and Rick there today.
Well, it's really good to be there. Had a really, really good time.
Yeah. You didn't get a count, did you? Because I didn't. I just kind of did. It's okay. I forgot to make an accurate count. You know how many were there?
There was at least 10, maybe 12.
No, there was more than that. Yeah, more than a dozen.
Yeah, I was just looking and thinking in my head, and that's all I can count.
Yeah, I would say there's more like 15 or 16 total. But anyway, it was good to have you in there. And you sound good tonight as always. All right, that was Michael, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee, Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Belshire with excellent signal. Who else from West? Please come in. West of Mount Juliet, please come in. Well, we can come back. Okay, we're going south then. South of Mount Juliet, south of 40. Please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
All right, Larry, it's good to see you today as well. Larry, it was good to see you. Larry, did you copy? It's Paul, K4PEW.
Hey, I'm back with you, I think, Paul.
Okay, no, you didn't answer me when I got it. I was wondering if you had gone somewhere or didn't have the volume up, or you had to have heard me.
Things are doing some crazy tricks over here. I think I got too many radios on.
Okay, very good. Was the traffic bad coming in today?
No, things are good. Even the rain held off most of the way.
Yeah, it came down pretty hard. Well, I know it did. Afterwards, it did. I know here at the house in Mount Juliet, but I don't know how it would have been south of here or wherever you are.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'll let you get on with it. KE4SYB.
Very good, Larry. That was Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, another breakfast goer. And he's from Rockville, so he made the trip in. This is K4PEW at the Mount Juliet Simplex Net. Who else we got south of 40?
Kilo India 4 November Delta November.
So what do we got to do to get you up at a breakfast again there, David?
Well, I guess I suppose to send a limo out here after me.
Did you want a stretch limo or just standard size?
Oh, I prefer stretch, sir.
All right, and you want well, you're gonna have to. I got to work on getting some babes for that limo if that's what you're looking for.
I thought that was just a common part of the limo.
Yeah, it's a teetotaler limo. There's no bar in it.
And I tell you what, to get me there, change it to later in the day, and I'll certainly show up.
Well, you can still show up at 9 if you want to. We're there from usually 8 till 7:45 till 10:15 or so.
Yeah. Well, hey, I tell you, I sure like to be there, and the earlier it is, the less likely I'm going to show up. But glad you guys had a good time anyway, Mr. Paul, and it's been another good day. Appreciate what you do, sir.
Yeah, very good. That's David in where is he? He's in, man, I forgot already. How quickly? Reedyville, that's where he is. Kilo India 4 November Delta November. Of course, David also does his net control usually for the Rutherford County Simplex Net, which is on the first Tuesday of every month. This is the first Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's the first Tuesday, isn't it?
Yes, sir, that is first Tuesday. You remember your 3 digits because that giveaway is coming up.
I got it, man. I got it nailed. I'm on top of it.
All right, well, that's good. I really appreciate you, Mr. Paul. Have a good one. 7-3 everybody on the net. KI4 ND and back to you.
Are you on YouTube tonight? Are you watching the YouTube channel tonight?
No, sir. No, but I sure can be.
Oh, no, I just want to show you. I wrote it on my palm of my hand so I would never forget.
I'll take a look in a minute.
Let me know. All right. That was David, Kilo India 4 November, Delta November, of course, in Reedyville. Who else we got? And again, he was the net control for the Rutherford County Aries Simplex Net, which is a nice net. They gather quite a few folks down there for the Aries purposes. Who else south of 40?
Before we be
It's good to see you as well. How are you?
doing fairly well. Yeah, had a good time. Yeah, there was probably 14 or 15 people there at least.
Oh no, all the celebrities showed up after you left.
Well, I thought some of them saw me in there and they left. They didn't come in.
Maybe so. And when we were leaving, there were some people all coming in. It looked like they just left the CMA Fest. They all came in with cowboy boots and top hats.
Now, I forgot all about that this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it much thought myself, but yeah, no, it was a good breakfast. We had a good time as always. Well, good to have you in there, Eddie. That's Eddie W4 Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray, and he's over there in Gladeville, east of the Providence. Who else? South of Florida.
KM4 VDA.
It's good to see you as well, Dan.
Yeah, nice to be seen. You know, it's a shame I sold my stretch limo 2 days ago, or else I could have lent it to you.
Yeah, I had a guy that worked for me one time. He had a white, pretty sure it was a Cadillac. It might have been a Lincoln, I forget now. And it was white stretch limo and it had, he had the biggest kick out of it, I don't know why. And it had a separate air conditioning unit in the trunk to serve the back end of the car.
Oh, yeah, well, that's typical on vans. I know all the Ford vans had air conditioning units for the front and the back.
Yeah, I had never seen that before. Of course, that was back in around 76, 75. It's quite a while ago. Anyway, that was good to have you in there, Dan. Yeah, it's always a good meeting. All right, well, good to have you in there, Dan. Kilo Mike 4, Victor Alpha. Great signal out of Providence. Are you on your base unit still?
Still on the base unit.
All right, very good. And so it's a good signal. All right, good to have you in there. South of 40, any more?
KD4 VGY. Charlie Victor Echo. Greg Antioch.
Hold on, Greg. Ed beat you in there. It's good to see you and your wife there today, Ed.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it. Good enjoy meal and enjoyed seeing starting to put some faces with some call signs there. That was very enjoyable there. I got to meet Larry there, and we had a really fun time today.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Like I said, it's always good. I know everybody can't make it all the time, especially some of you folks that live in the outlying areas, but it's just nice to have you come in and, you know, it's, I don't know, everything in radio is not over the air, as you know, and I consider all, not all ham radio, but all FM, you know, VHF, UHF radio is really kind of local. You know, we don't get out as far as, you know, there's still people out on the fringe that I've never met, and I'd love to meet them, you know, because they've never come to the breakfast.
Yeah, it's really good. I will say again, appreciate you doing that. Gives us an opportunity to meet one another. Appreciate it, Bob. I'll turn it back to you there. KD4 is EGY.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Ed. That's Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee, and he is in Shake Rag down near Shelbyville. Who else? I heard Greg. Is that Greg? What's your call again, Greg?
I don't think he's Shake Rag right now.
Yeah, well, let's leave it that. He's mobile, maybe. Greg, what's your call there?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Ah, yes, that's right. It's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. I thought I had that memorized some time ago because of we talked about that. That CVE is a old carrier designation for Navy carriers.
Yeah, the escort designation. Yeah, excellent. I won't keep you. I'm actually heading out the door. I just wanted to pass on that 10 meters is open, so y'all might have some fun. Y'all want to pass that on that this 10-meter band's open.
Yeah, very good. Greg, you're where? Is it? Tell me where you were before I guess.
I'm in Antioch, southeast of the airport, a mile or two.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's right. There's Greg, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. He's in Antioch. He was just reminding everybody that 10 meters is open right now, so don't leave. I hope it'll be open in another few minutes. Thanks, Greg. Again, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. Who else south, please, Connor?
Hey, Paul.
You.
Mike Ford. Forgive me for late check-in, but I was out, and I'm getting ready to go back out. I just wanted to say 73s to everybody. KM4TJF.
All righty, Rick. We'll catch you later. Good to see you at the breakfast this morning. Good to have you in there. I know you got to get. All right, there was somebody else. Greg. Oh yeah, we got finished with Greg. We got finished with Greg. Who else was in South? Please come in.
Kilo Mike 4, Lima Hotel Golf.
Kilo Mike 4, Lima Hotel Golf. I'm sorry, I forgot your first name.
My name here is Brian. I took your advice and I got rid of my J-pole and put up a ground plane antenna. I hope the signal's better.
Well, the signal's very good, actually. It's did you leave it up in the attic for the moment?
Yes, up in the attic. I haven't had time to hang it up in the trees yet, but yeah, up in the attic, same height, but instead of the J-pole, it's a simple ground wave dual band antenna.
Yeah, no, I think it's doing very well. The audio is good. Not much signal strength, as you can imagine. Attic antennas are tough, especially so you're in. Let me remember. You're in Murfreesboro, right?
That's correct.
Okay, well, my brain's not completely empty. Yeah, attic antennas are tough, and even the best of those ground planes, 5/8, I forget what the gain might be, a couple dBs, 3 dBs, I don't know. But you're gonna, again, the audio is fine. It really is very good. I don't know how many people can copy you. It's a little tough though with that kind of an antenna in the end. But you're doing great, Brian, and I think it is better. It was a little light before. It was almost as if I guess I could tell, but I just couldn't tell what the the story was on the. I wouldn't tell what kind of antenna it was, but it wasn't a great audio either on the other system.
All right, well that's great to hear. Made at least one improvement. I also I came in really strong to your station a few days ago when I did the Summits on the Air. I went up on top of Short Mountain, a little bit east of Woodbury, and you said it was a beautiful signal, and that was just on the top of the mountain there with my radio and my truck.
Yeah, exactly, and again, it just goes to show you that height is, because even a mobile antenna on your truck isn't going to be a fantastic gain antenna, but when you've got that kind of elevation on Short Mountain, to me is going to be, you could probably work 5 watts to me from Short Mountain, and I'd pick you up real well. And you did come in; it was a great signal from Short Mountain.
All right, well, thanks very much. I'll let you get some of your other contacts. But nice chatting with you again. K4PW, KM4LHU.
Very good. Another success story, Brian, down in Antioch. Is that correct? Oh no, I'm sorry, Murfreesboro. My mistake. Kilo Mike 4, Lima Hotel Golf, and he's done at least one improvement forward from a J-pole in the attic to a better gain, like on a 5/8 wave, 2-meter dual band antenna in the attic. Getting better, good audio. You can hear yourself on this on it 18 minutes or 17 and a half minutes into the net. Who else we got south of 40? All right, moving over to the east then. Please come now.
K4 Sierra India Bravo.
Hold on, Richard. You came in second again. Robin, good to see you this morning as well.
Thank you. Pleasure to be there. I enjoyed the omelet and the conversation.
Yeah, at least some of the conversation.
I'd say all of it.
No, I'm just kidding. I was just thinking about that, how you were monitoring this net for a while before you jumped in and participated.
Yeah, well, it's not all due to external circumstances.
No, exactly. In fact, my wife told me there's a ham. I don't have his call in front of me. I had gone and worked with him down in Maury County on a mountain bike race. And I went out and monitored one of the stations and had a good time. It was a couple years ago. And he said, he told my wife, he says, yeah, I can hear you guys on the air. And he just listens, and he's tried to cut into the net, and apparently he can't make it with whatever antenna he has. He used the excuse that nobody would let him in. I go, no, lots of people don't get on this net, and they get in just fine. If you got a good signal, you can get in.
Yep. Or even a lousy signal.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like I said, if I can, again, if somebody is in a really bad location, it's going to be tough. If it's a bad location and a bad antenna, I say bad, inefficient one. But I've worked handhelds out of Murfreesboro and handhelds on down in gosh, was it? I forget the name of the town there. David did that to me one time down south on off of 24, about southeast of Murfreesboro, another 5 or 8 or 10 miles with a handheld. So it's elevation is king, and a good antenna is the second portion of that. All right, very good, Robin. Good to have you in there. Robin is Kilo 4 India Delta Charlie. He is about 6 miles south of me in Hermitage, over toward Percy Priest Lake. Anybody else? Oh, we had Richard in there. Richard.
Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Enjoyed breakfast this morning. Good to see everybody that was there. And hope everybody that wasn't can make it eventually. But I'm hearing a few folks tonight that I haven't heard before. I've got some kind of ground noise hitting me, but it's nothing over the top like it had been. But y'all have a great rest of the weekend. Take care. Thanks for what you do there, Paul. KI4SIB back to net.
Yeah, very good. It's good to have you in there this morning, Richard. And I'm glad you were able to get Dale and drag him with his butt over here in his crutches.
Yeah, I told him if he wanted me to do it again to let me know. And he said he'd be on those crutches about another 3 weeks to a month. So I may have to bring him back down there, but that's quite all right. I enjoyed it.
No, I'm really glad you did that. It's the first time I met Dale. I've talked to him on the air before, but never in person, so that was good.
Yeah, he's good people.
Oh yeah, no, he's fine. I just except for the crutches thing. That's a pain. Crutches. I was on on that what do you call it? That cane, that 4-point cane for a while, and that was even more annoying to me because my leg wasn't working as you remember. But anyway, that was Richard, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo. He is over there in Lebanon. Great signal, and he says he's hearing more people than normal. So that's terrific. Hope you're keeping a log there. You have to tell me what that is sometime. Who the people you are hearing better. Who else? East, please come. Hello, Stan.
Hey, Paul. I'm actually south, but I was east.
Where? Oh, you're off. You're mobile now or something?
So I'm waiting for my daughter to come for a Cracker Barrel.
Aha. All right, very good. Well, you sound good. Are you in the car right now?
Roger.
Yeah, I don't know. Do I hear some alternator whine in there?
No, it's turned off.
Must be some others. There's a slight noise in there. Not annoying. I can just hear it in the background. That's why I thought it was like an alternator noise.
No, the car's turned off. I don't know what it might be.
Yeah, I can hear it. Well, it's not critical. Believe me. It must be something else. Obviously, maybe some other noise coming from adjacent stuff. Maybe it's from Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel. I'm sorry, I missed that. I doubled it.
It might be. I don't know.
All right, we're very good. Hope you have a good time at Cracker Barrel. That was Stan, Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. He's normally in Lebanon, but he's actually over by Cracker Barrel south. Who else? East, please come in.
KN4LXH.
Hello, Jimmy. You don't have any more bad sagas about your antenna, do you?
No. Actually, the hex beam is working pretty good. The only problem I've got is at times now I'm getting, for some reason, an S9 noise level on 20 meters, and on let's see, the one higher band I guess will be 8 to 17 meters. But it's like it's like S9 for like 5-10 minutes, and it'll stop for a minute or two, and then it'll come back, and it'll go back and forth like that. I don't know what's going on, but when it does that, it wipes out any communication.
Well, does that go on all the time or just recently?
This started up about I don't know, a week or two ago.
It's probably a neighbor with a blender.
Well, they're really giving the blender a workout. I've heard from some hams that certain TVs generate a lot of noise. I don't know if they're LEDs or what kind it is, but certain TVs do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Things seem to get worse the more people, and appliances and businesses, and the noise I hear on my mobile unit when I go by certain bank signs and fast food signs and Eckert, not Eckert, but the Walgreens signs, that kind of stuff. You kind of wish it wasn't there.
Yeah, I know when I turn on my welder and run that, boy, that just really wipes things out. But I'm the only one in the neighborhood that's probably got a welder though.
Yeah, I had brought a silly story, but when I was doing service work for an apartment complex that I had worked on installing electrical systems, this guy complained, and I was also doing whatever they asked me to do, I'd do it. But they complained because the TV system, which I didn't have anything to do with the TV systems. The contractor had done is put antennas in the attic, and then they had an amplifier for the apartments. And he complained because only sometimes did the TV actually get a good signal, but he didn't know where it was from. He didn't know what kind of antenna it was. So I went up and looked, and sure enough, they had taken the amplifier for the eight apartments, and they tied it into the switch leg to a fart fan in a bathroom. So the only time the TV came in good was when the guy was in the bathroom doing whatever with the fan on. And so I told the guy, it says, every time you watch TV, just go tell the guy to go turn the fan on in the bathroom.
Holy mackerel, boy! I don't know what to make of that.
Well, that's just the contractor for the he wasn't paying any attention to what he just saw power and he hooked up the amplifier and called it a day like a dummy without testing it.
Oh boy. Well, I don't think I have that kind of a problem, but it is something definitely generating a lot of noise. Oh, by the way, I ran up to 10 meters when I was mentioned there about the band being open. I was listening to you on the YouTube while I was doing that, but that's the first time I've heard anybody on 10 meters since I've had my license, which has been a little over a year.
Oh wow! Now you were on 10 meter sideman, right?
Yes, upper sideman.
Yeah, great. I'm glad. So you heard that. You heard it straight from the source there. We got a 10 meter opening. Well, apparently Wes, KE4TWI, told me that it's been open on and off all week. All right, well, good to hear that. That's Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel Jimmy, and he's here in Mount Juliet over there just north of the high school near Lebanon Road. Who else? East, please come in.
KE4 DEC.
Hey, Mr. Good Signal Earl, you sound great, Earl.
Well, you are too. And I guess Mother Nature must be good on propagation this evening. I was hearing quite a few people out there. Of course, going from 12 feet off the ground to 30 feet off the ground between last week and this week may have something to do with it too. And glad to hear there's some other operators out there doing a little bit of antenna adjusting and rearranging while the weather's good and improving and whatever like that. I had big plans for making it to breakfast this morning with my neon hat, call sign, and name on it, but I guess I was dreaming about it and slept through it again.
Okay, well, 2 weeks. You can come right back. We'll be here.
Okay, well, 7-3 out there to all the band, and I'm on 28 400. I ain't heard anything on 10 meters yet. Maybe I might need to spin the dial one way or another. Well, anyway, 7-3. Y'all have a good weekend, and keep on keeping on with the improvements, as I will try to do the same. KE4 DEZ. Back to you, Paul.
It's kind of interesting. Your signal is earlier, well, I think it was yesterday or wherever we talked last, the signal was up bouncing around like between S3 and S4 in that range. And I don't think you've changed anything. And now it's like just between 1 and 2, but your audio is very good.
Okay. Well, at least I'm consistent with my audio and everything. I think my radio's getting used to this here unbroken, high SWR antenna and everything like that, because it's starting to calm down when I try it on sideband and everything. It's starting to do the right thing and stuff, but then again, knock on wood on that. I don't want to jinx myself, okay?
Yeah, I got you. I don't think you'll jinx it. You're doing fine, though. I don't think I'd change a thing at the moment unless you want to make it higher yet. All right, that was Earl. He's over in Noreen, east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park over there in Wilson County. And great signal there, Earl. It's a good audio signal. Is a little lower than normal, but I wouldn't know why. It has to be conditioned for sure. Because like I said earlier, the signal was 2 or 3 times higher than what you have today. Or at least that's the indicator. Let me say that. Anybody else east? Heard something.
Whiskey Delta 4, Bravo, Whiskey Charlie.
Yeah, it was good to see you and Joanne there this morning, Jeff.
It was good to see everybody else.
Yep. Yeah, she was giving me some nice information. Well, I say nice. She had worked in taking care of some elderly folks in different kind of places. So it's kind of nice to see somebody who knows what I was going through. Although I don't need it, but it was nice to hear it.
Yeah, she's done it all.
Oh, yeah. No, that's somebody who I did get a newfound appreciation for people who do taking care of elderly or nursing home work or that kind of stuff, home health kind of stuff for elderly people, because it's rough duty and they come in and just get the job done, you know.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, very good. You got to be built for it though, because I'll be darned if I'm going to go in and take care of somebody else's motor. That would be a little rough for me.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's hard.
I'm sure it is, but the ones who do it, if you'll notice, there's an issue right there with difference between men and women. You'll notice, I bet you 98% of the people who do home health or nursing home care are women.
Yep, that's very true.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because most guys aren't interested in well, there's another thing too. There's most women in nursing homes aren't really, they're not real happy about men bathing them. You know?
That's true.
All right. Very good. That's Jeff. He was at the breakfast this morning. It was Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie. His wife Joanne was there as well. And good to have you in there, Jeff. Signal sounds good tonight. Anybody else east? Anybody else east of Mount Juliet? Well, we'll move around to the north then. North of Mount Juliet. Please come in.
KBI RKK.
Hey, Frank. You doing all right? Good to see you in there as well, man. We could probably count how many people showed up just by counting the people who checked into the net tonight.
Yeah. Well, we had a pretty good group. Yeah, we used up 3 tables.
Yeah, not completely full, but yeah, we did eat up 3 tables, and it was good. It was a really nice little meeting.
Yeah, it was interesting. Had a good time. Stayed probably a little bit later than I intended to, but hey, no harm, no foul.
Oh yeah, no question about it. I was just marking off here on how many people showed up because I could count whole bunches of them right here. It's kind of neat. Yeah, except Eddie was there. David in at KI4 Indiana, he wasn't there. I'm not marking him. All right, well, good to have you in there, Frank. It was great talking to you this morning. That was Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo. You're home today?
Yes, sir. Yeah, just home alone actually.
Yeah, we'll try to stay out of trouble. That's what all I do is get in trouble if I'm alone.
How time flies when you're having fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Don't worry, she took the credit card. No, I'm just joking.
Hey, listen, that's one of the dangerous things about those credit cards. It isn't that you have one. With like places I know that on my Walmart online account and a couple other accounts I have, they keep the registration of the card, and all I have to do is hit, okay, I want this and this, and they just ship it to me automatically. I don't have to enter anything.
Roger, yeah, that's Amazon. They have like all of them up there. So yeah, but I promise her, don't worry, there won't be any more radio. No radio gear is gonna show up while you're gone.
Yeah, see, there you go. I just counted up 12, and that isn't everybody. I know there's some other people that haven't checked in or showed up at the I think who showed up on the thing this morning. So there's at least a dozen were there. I'm sure there was 15 or 16 to be truthful. But anyway, good to have you in there, Frank. Frank's in Northwest Wilson County. That's Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. Excellent signal as always. Anybody else north?
WB0NOL.
So you lost another opportunity to see me, man.
Yeah, I guess you're talking to me, but yeah, I did. I missed it. I thought about it around 11.
I know that's all right. When we started having the breakfast, it was January a couple years ago, And first one, yeah, it was great. The second one I actually forgot about, and everybody showed up but me. I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, well, that happens, you know. Your dedication to doing this nearly 500 times is pretty incredible.
Yeah, actually, I just have I'm a robot. I still am surprised at 491 times too. I mean, it doesn't seem like 491 times, but partly the reason, or maybe the whole reason, is it's ultimately I don't think of it as work. It's really fun. I mean, there's work to it. Don't misunderstand. It's just, I mean, ham radio is supposed to be fun. If it ain't fun, I wouldn't be doing
it. Yep. Well, it's nice. I mean, about I don't know, probably a year or so ago, you got me off the couch.
Well, maybe that was I don't know what we've accomplished, individually or collectively, but I do know that we've gotten more people involved, even if it's just a little bit. They start reconsidering what they have and what they're doing, and why do I have a radio? And hey, that's neat. I can be on Simplex. Because I'll use another example of, for instance, of why repeaters are bad. Well, not bad. They're awkward sometimes. There was a big repeater system down in Florida, and I mean big. They had like 3 or 4 towers that they were on, linked towers on the west coast of Florida. It was the NI4CE, November India 4 Charlie Echo. You can look it up on the web. I'm confident they're still there. And huge signal. I mean, you could talk to most of the state on that repeater system. Well, they'd have an Aries net or whatever it was. I think it was an Aries net. But a friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine, was doing that net. And we had a Simplex net down there where we were getting 27, 28, check-ins. And he'd have a repeater net every week, and he was getting like 5 people. I said, dude, what's the matter? Is everybody a repeater? Why are you? And the repeaters were rarely used because you don't feel like talking to a buddy across the whole state of Florida just to talk, across town. It doesn't make any sense.
Yep. Well, repeaters are too easy. There's not much challenge in hitting a repeater. So, anyway, good to talk to you. Sorry I missed breakfast. I'll have to try it again in 2 weeks. Have a good evening. I'll sit back and listen for a while. WB0 and OL.
Yeah, very good, Mark. Just make sure, send me that fella, or have him call me, one of the two, or email me, or whatever you want to do, that the guy that's doing that work for you.
I will. I'm not giving him anything else to do until he's done here.
Yeah, I thought that was the reason for the delay. I thought to myself, I'm not hearing from that guy, but I'm pretty sure I know why.
Well, we're 3 weeks into a 2-week project.
Yeah, Murphy's Law about that kind of stuff. It's always that way. Oh, yeah, and you go, oh, yeah, I know. Anyway, it's just kind of normal, It always takes longer. All right, anyway, that was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. He's up there in Hermitage. Great signal in the midst of construction project and dust at his house. So I don't look forward to that here at any time in the future either. But you got to survive those things to have your house look nice. Who else? North, please come in.
W9BOQ.
Man, I don't know if you're overdriving your mic, but you are loud.
Yeah, I looked up the YouTube video last night and you reached over to turn down the volume when I started talking.
Yeah, I believe I did. Because I had it up for somebody else, and when you came on, it was way too loud. Yeah, you could probably work just like I do. I could do 5 watts, and most people aren't going to notice. In fact, that would be the same with you now.
Yeah, well, it's mic gain here. I just turned it back down. I turned on the mic preamp earlier because I was talking with the mic far away. But no, I'm back home. I remember I told you earlier today that I'd be around all day. Well, I forgot. I had to work at 2 o'clock, and I remembered right at 1, and it takes an hour to drive to work. So I was like scrambling.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, well, work really has to come before pleasure, as you know.
Well, I don't know if many of you people know, but I'm a recording musician, and the session that I was at today was horrible. All the musicians were making faces, see each other, and it was just terrible. And I know nobody from that session can hear me, so I can complain about it.
Oh, you never know who's got a scanner, man. Oh, was it because?
I'm not worried about it. But anyway, it's not all glamorous fun. Today was like digging a ditch, being in the trenches.
Yeah, I'm sure you have sessions like that. That's why I always get a kick for if you look back on your entire time of watching actors be interviewed, like on a talk show, whether doesn't matter who it is, any talk show, and they'll be promoting a movie. Every time they come on, they go, "We had such a good time working together on the set. Everybody got along, happy and fun." You know what? They're all full of crap. Because I've never worked on any project where everybody got along, ever.
I think sometimes that happens. I think I think of a show like Seinfeld. I think they had a really good time doing that. And I've read a lot about Grumpy Old Men because I thought that was such a great movie. I think they had a good time doing that. But I think you're right. Probably the majority of the time it's just work.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they're all full of it. And I'm sure that lots of people get along just fine. It's just that, there's always issues, especially in creative things, where there's differences in opinion. Even hear about them where somebody leaves a job because they call it creative differences, or, just those things. And it's just like I'm saying, I don't think they all get along swimmingly, just because rarely in any big project does everybody get along well. There's always something, I don't really like that guy, or they don't like you, or they don't like the way you smell, or you smoke, or you drink, or you had long hair. You know what I'm getting at? It's just everybody doesn't get along, but they always lie about it.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell a quick story, or a medium story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was in a house band one time. I was there for 5 years, and Hollywood came to town to do a for TV only movie, and they needed a stage and a venue to shoot a scene, and they also needed musicians to stand on stage and act, I guess, or just make believe you're playing. So they came to our club. So it was a movie directed by Lee Grant, and it was starring, of all people, Anne Margaret. So I was in a movie with Anne Margaret, and we were on stage, or we got there at like 8 in the morning. W9BOQ, by the way. We got there at 8 in the morning, and the crew said, or somebody told us the crew went on strike. So we had to wait around all day. We were there till 8 at night, waiting around for them to get a scab crew. And the majority of us started drinking tequila. And by the time they finally called us to do our shot at like 8:30 or 9 at night, we were all toast. And you can see it on YouTube. I will find the clip of it and show it to you. I had to grab a guitar from Anne Margaret.
Oh, that's great that Anne Margaret was there. That's cool.
She was really weird. She's a character actor, or what do they call that, where you totally immerse yourself and become that person. She stood in a corner and wrapped herself up in a curtain and stood there for like 30 minutes before her scene came.
Wow. Well, they got to do what they got to do to make themselves believable to themselves, I guess.
Anyway, I'll send to the mailing list. I'll send a clip of the video. It's a real struggle to watch it, but I'm right near the end.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I look forward to that. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm sure you've had some great stories in the, well, I say great, they're nice stories about the recording industry anyway.
I just told one of 3 stories. That's the best I got.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe you just, okay. Yeah. All right. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, Dennis is a recording. I don't know if everybody heard that. I'm pretty sure you did, but Dennis is a recording artist, keyboardist, and been working in the industry, I think, most of your life, haven't you, Dennis?
Well, I got a gig in a nightclub when I was 13, and my dad would come and drink beer all night while I was playing. So I've been doing it since 1966 till now. But anyway, enough about me. What do you think about me?
That's right. Enough about me. Let's talk about me. All right. Very good, Dennis. Good to have you in there. Great signal. Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec in Castellion Springs with his 60 or 70-foot tower and X700 on top. Doing great, really. You could probably do 5 watts and nobody'd notice. You were full scale, even 60 over here. So, all righty. Anybody else north? Please come down.
W4DBZ.
Hey, you stayed up for me. How you doing, Brian?
Hey, not bad, not bad. I just wanted to emphasize how much I enjoyed seeing everybody and chatting it up today. It was a great fun, and I'm glad we're doing it, every other week and such. So I enjoyed chatting with you and everyone else, and I'll try to get around to the people I didn't get a chance to chat with next couple of weeks. So a lot of fun. W4DBV.
Yeah, we'll have to do musical chairs. If it were Eddie's K4 EBX, we do it every Saturday. Like we might do it every day if it were Eddie.
I can make a case for that myself, but that was good, and good for you, and so on and so on. So glad you've taken this underhand. And I'll have to give you a compliment. Without yourself as the leader, this probably all never would have happened. So it's really a great thing you've done here.
I guess. Again, most things like this, which ultimately things like this are often started because I want somebody to talk to. So that's where we end up with this, because I just wanted somebody to talk to. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it sure does. I feel the same way, except you have the ability to get something done about it, and not everyone else does. So that's kind of unique. Great talent. We appreciate it. Actually, I'm sure I can confidently speak for the others there. So anyway, carry on. I'm going to pull up switches and get back to what I wasn't doing, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks very much once again, Paul. K4PW, W4DBD.
Yeah, very good, Brian. Appreciate the nice words. Again, ulterior motives, but it worked into something bigger than that, bigger and better. And that was Brian, Whiskey 4 Delta Bravo Victor, and he's in Northwest Wilson County. With very kind words about the net. But really, the net's worthless without everybody else. I can sit here and flap my jaws, which I'd get tired of after a while. But I'm not going to, it doesn't do any good. Like I said, it's interesting to me that there are other people listening. I'm sure there's scanner listeners out there, and I'm sure there's some hams out there who do not participate, and they're welcome to join. We don't have any rules about who joins the net. And I hope everybody, and I think that hams who aren't listening, who are just listening, who don't participate often, can understand who they can hear and who they can't hear. So it's a benefit to them as well to determine how well they can, at least to hear people. I know I was fascinated how much better as I moved up from a basic antenna to a better antenna and then a really great antenna, how the difference in who I could hear was, how it increased with each level. And the next level is, I guess I got to get a 100-foot tower, which I don't think is going to happen in the near future. All right, anybody else north, please come now. I forgot to say we're moving on to the sideband net or the buy-sell swap and swindle net, since this is Saturday, and then followed by the upper sideband net on 144.240. And who else north? Please come in.
Hey, contact Paul.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to echo what I can't remember his name. What he said. It would be very easy for you to make this net all about you, but you're very good. You're very, very good about making it a group, and it's very fun to be part of this net, and I do appreciate what you do, and I just wanted to say that. So W9BOQ.
I appreciate that. Having been in sales and project management for many years, and having managed even larger groups than this in a professional, they were professional associations that I managed for a while as a part of my just part of what I did for a living. But it can't be, if it's just about, people pick up on that. You have to be able to listen to other people, and I'm a pretty good listener. I'm a pretty good talker too, but people have told me that. Not pretty good, just very verbose. But you also have to let other people talk. I mean, it's just that simple, because it's no fun listening to the same person all the time, and that would be me. And I try not to ever make it about me. And we were very successful in the association, but I also had, well, just a different kind of thing. But in this case, I just can't tell you how interesting it is to see, here, like for instance, we're on number 20 on a Saturday night. I didn't even give a reminder notice, and the people just show up, and so it's obvious. There's a lot, and like I've mentioned before, there's a lot of nets up, repeater or otherwise. They wouldn't know what to do with 20 or 20 plus people, because it would shock them. Because even some of the repeater nets I've heard, which they're nice people, don't get me wrong, and they just need to work on it. Some of it's the consistency. Remember last year, I'm going to time out my own machine here. Last March, I believe it was March or May, I forget now which, we were only averaging 12. That's what I had reported when I had that interview with Bob Heil. And here we are a year later, and now we're usually averaging somewhere around 20 something, 23, 20. I've never actually done the math on what the average is, but it's in the 20s, 21, 22, 23. So it's amazing. We pretty much doubled in 1 year from a 4-year average, and that started out small. It was often 6, 8, 10, in the beginning, and here we are 491 nets later, and we're in the 20s most of the time. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate your kind words too there, Dennis. And yeah, it can't be all about me, and it can't be. And if people want to talk a little bit, you know as well as I do, if there's something to say, I want to hear it. It doesn't matter if it's HF or VHF, UHF, or some other portion of the ham radio. All right, anyway, let me move on so it doesn't become all about me again. Anybody else north, please come in. Very good. Anybody else late check-ins, please come in. Hey, good to hear you in again there, Jeff. How you doing?
I was just hanging out. I was a little late getting in. I guess you called the West Sector first, but stuck around checking in the end of it, so I'm here.
You still on vacation, are you?
Yeah, it's pretty much the last day of it. I go back Monday, but we're weeks from Sunday to Saturday, so technically this is the last day of it.
Yeah, well, I hope you've enjoyed it and had a good time.
I did. I didn't get as much completed as I wanted to, but especially the past few days when it started raining. But all in all, I just rested, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, no, that's what vacation time should be. It shouldn't make it a hectic. So sometimes vacations can get so hectic you're happy to go back to work.
Yeah, I did that before, but this time I just took it easy and did a few things around the house, but mostly rested.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to do those things around the house to make the XYL better.
Well, I'm not really counting her into the equation. It's just things that I needed to do around here that I don't normally have a chance to do.
Yeah, I got you. Well, you sound good as always. I'm sorry you have to go back to work. It seems like vacations over the years when I've taken a vacation, away from home or go to the beach or whatever I've done in the past, and it's like you realize it pretty soon. It's just gone. It's you go, man, it's that week or 2 weeks went by like a flash, and then you're back to work again. And then you look back over your life and you go, man, that's a lot of vacations, but they don't seem to be very long.
Well, they're not designed to be, but anyway, I just enjoy the time off, and I have to go back Monday, get back to the regular routine. But other than that, that's just just what it is.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you're bumping up against 60 over as always, so you're doing great. All right, that was Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. He's up in Madison. Great signal. Had a nice vacation this week, and he checked in twice this week, which is usually unusual for him due to the schedule he works. But it was good to have you in there, Jeff. Anybody else north or late check-ins? That's what we want. Late check-ins. There was a double in there, but I had Scott in there first. How you doing, Scott?
You talk about people on vacations and people being retired. I went to purchase a couple of T-shirts from the ARRL for this year's field day for my son and myself, and could not get them this year. There's something for the amateur side, some radio operators. 2X, 3X, 4X, 5X.
is I don't know if I want to touch that one. I wear a 3X, and you can see me here. It's I'm a pretty big guy. I got a, I don't know, 50-inch chest or something, and a 42-inch waist or something like that. But it might be 44. But no, you're right. That's one of the first things I noticed when I got on the ham radio. I went to a ham fest, and I realized that I like going to them because I look thin compared to some of the folks that showed up.
Yeah, my son's horrible. He has a list of things you see at the ham fest. You know, the walkers, the canes, the rascals, things like that. All right, back to it, and I'll try and make the sideband also. Okay, when it's finished.
Well, since you mentioned ham fest, I found that there's only 3 reasons that hams go to ham fest. One is it's for the food. The cuisine is always outstanding. Number 2, it's current fashion trends in ham radio, which is sometimes just yellow T-shirts and outdated clothing. And number 3, of course, is just for the babes.
Oh, yes, you know, that's loaded up with it.
Anyway, yeah, the food is usually, you know, like when I think when Hunts, I don't know where it was, whichever one I was at, it was like the food was salted pretzels, Coke, and coffee. That was the whole menu.
Can't get any better than that. All right, okay, when it's
Very good, Scott. It was Scott in Laverne, Kilo 1, Sierra, Papa Delta. There was another station in there. Go ahead.
K4 TYJ.
Hey, I wasn't sure you were going to show up tonight, Jim.
Well, we went out to supper late, and I was moving stuff in the barn to fit the new Goldwing in there.
Oh, you got the Goldwing and picked it up today? That's great.
Yeah, we had to take it to dinner. After I picked it up, I had to spend more time riding it, then I had to spend the rest of the afternoon cleaning it up, and then we had to go take it to supper.
Oh, you mean with the person selling it, didn't have it detailed for you?
Not to my standards.
Ah, okay. Very good. It's looking good, though?
Oh, yeah. It looks brand new. Now it does, anyways. The shiny bits are shiny, and the non-shiny bits are not shiny, so that's a good thing.
They don't put any brass on those you got to polish, do you?
No, you got chrome, though.
Yeah, I know. They're pretty. Those Goldwings are pretty. And what year was that again? 2014, you said?
Yeah, it's 2014. Candy red was the color.
Well, you're going to be king of the road down there.
Try to. It's a lot of fun to ride. It really is. It's an amazing motorcycle.
The ones I've seen, I've never ridden one, but the ones I've seen really sound good and they look good.
Yeah, this is ultra comfortable. We took it for a test ride. Oh, the wife and I, we went, I don't know, 100 some odd miles, went and had lunch, and, you know, city traffic, back roads, highway. I mean, this bike can do it all. It's, you know, I love my Valkyrie and other things, but this is, they broke the mold for a touring motorcycle.
Katie for OEN. Sorry to jump in here, Paul. Are we too late to check in?
No, hang on one second. You probably can't hear the other station. Let me finish up with Jim down in Woodbury, and I'll be right back to you, Mary.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. We had a station that couldn't hear you who jumped in there for a check-in. But yeah, that's yeah, you had to go travel a couple 100-something miles to show off the bike to everybody else. It wasn't just for your enjoyment.
Well, you know, when you do a test ride and you're going to sit in the saddle for a long time, about 100 miles, you start feeling aches and pains and stuff like that. By that time, you should know whether, you know, it's for you or not. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, you're a little younger than me. The aches and pains get a little worse as you get older.
Yeah, that's why I got it now. Okay, that's instead of waiting a little bit later, I took it now, got it now, so we can enjoy it before we're too old to enjoy it, I think.
Yeah, I got you. No, I'm glad you got that. I can't wait to bring it up to a breakfast whenever. 2 weeks, maybe?
Sure.
All right, sounds good. Send pictures in the meantime.
See what I can do. I can't take no pictures now. I didn't take any. I just was cleaning it, so I'll get some pictures.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, very good. It was Jim in Woodbury, and that's Kilo Echo for Tango Yankee Juliet. And I heard Mary in there. Mary, how you doing?
Katie for OEN. Hi, Paul. Doing great. We just ran in the door at the last second, so we're lollygagging hanging around again. You just, you can't count on us to be there on time.
No, that's all right. No, there's no rules. I mean, this isn't like it's a military check-in or a school, logging everybody in to see if they're not late for school. No, we're here to have a good time, as you know.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad we got here in time to be a late check-in. So I hope you're doing well. Hope you and your wife are doing better these days. And hope you had lots of check-ins tonight.
Yeah, we did. You were number 24 and number 25. If Marty's going to check here in a second. No, yeah, it's. I don't think about these things normally. They don't normally have some. I mean, my mother only, comes with us once and goes once. So, unfortunately, what that brings is what you take for granted in life now I look at pictures of my mother in the past or in the recent past, and I think about them differently. And I also think about I know for instance, the food she likes, and I'd grab something out of the refrigerator and I go, oh my gosh, I bought that exclusively. And I bought it for my mother, not necessarily because I knew that she liked it. So we'd buy stuff that she enjoyed. And you get that food and you go, oh my gosh, this is what she liked to eat, and I'm drinking the last of it here, or eating the last of it. I'm getting it. So these things come to mind all the time, like every day now. It'll go away, but it's constantly this reminder of that she was here with us for so long.
Yeah, that'll stay with you for a while, and it was always a lot of times for me it was if I would hear songs that was familiar to me and my loved one or a friend or whoever had passed away, and that would make me sad or just make me have good memories of them, and just different things. If you're on the radio or you watch on TV and you think, oh, well, I used to watch that together, and it's just all kinds of little things that pop up here and there that will remind you of them. But it's good memories. So we're still thinking about you guys, and hope you're doing well and hanging in there. We're all here for you.
All right. Appreciate the good words, Mary. Is Marty there tonight?
He's right here. You all have a good evening. Keep flowing and clear.
All right. Thanks for the nice words there. And appreciate you guys. Okay, Marty, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Having a good day.
Oh, yeah. Today, aside from the rain, it actually was a nice day out. It wasn't too hot, and it was comfortable when it wasn't raining.
That is correct.
Yeah. What do you do when it's downpouring? You don't let the dog out?
Yeah, I have to walk.
So you got to go out and get soaked too, then, huh?
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, very good. Well, you guys got a great signal tonight. In fact, I wish it was a little bit. Now your signal's good to me, but it would be. I'd love to have you guys hear some more. It's like you were missing Jim down there in Woodbury, and he's got a pretty good signal up here, at least to me, and it's not big enough for you guys. But anyway, glad to have both you and both Mary and Marty in, and it's KD4OE Oscar Echo November and Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Quebec Kilo, both in Belshire. It's good to have you both in there. Appreciate you guys. Who else? Yeah, you got to get to a breakfast maybe in 2 weeks. That's what we got to do. Get you to the breakfast. I'll get Michael to remind you about that. Anyway, who else we got? Anybody else late check-ins before we go on to the lollygaggers and lurkers?
W4G4
Oh wow, we got two in there. Okay, I heard Kevin in there, and I heard John in there. Dang, John, go ahead.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
We're doing great. It counted up now. There's 7 of us with the X700 antennas.
Wow, that's a growing community of 24-foot big six.
That's a growing community with people with less money in their pockets.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, no, I would have. It's just so funny how those things happen. It was never my intention to when I'm buying an antenna to, everybody jumps on the band. Not everybody, but other people jump on the bandwagon. And quite honestly, some people, for lots of reasons, either can't afford it, won't afford it, or don't need it.
Yeah, when it comes to antennas, two companies just turned me into absolute fan, and that's M squared and diamond. I am knee deep in probably almost every handy-talky version of antenna that Diamond makes. Their stuff is just superb on every level.
Yeah, they seem to have a very good level of quality, and they're still, I'll just say for the most part, aside from that 700, which is, I think they stand alone in that one. That's why they can price it up there where it is. But on all the other stuff, they're fairly competitive in their pricing.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they, especially for the quality, they're actually a bargain when you consider what you get.
Yeah, I would say M squared is too. They're and you know, well, again, people familiar with some. Well, I've been familiar with some manufacturing issues over the years, but when you can see the difference in just how things, the form and fit and function, and the type of materials they use, you just go, man, this is some nice stuff. And that's what's true about the X700. The next step would be to have, you know, a commercial antenna or something, you know, because this borders on a commercial model, you know, the X700.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it really is a commercial antenna because they make a version of that antenna that's, you know, you have to sort of custom tune it, but it's used a lot in public service and, you know, on tops of hospitals.
Yeah, well, some hospitals don't need it. I mean, we had a hospital that I told you I worked at in Tampa. It was 11 stories where our antennas were, so that got out pretty good in the relatively flat Florida landscape.
Yeah, the 24-foot one you don't see that much in public service, but the shorter 510 seems to be immensely popular.
Well, as you know, in fact, I was just talking to an old acquaintance of mine out in Nevada this morning, or today, and he said, I got to use that X700. He goes, oh, he says, he actually said it's garbage. He said, I said, well, I let that pass. He says, what I want to get is a what do you say, an 8-bay folded dipole commercial antenna. I'm like, well, more power to you, but I don't have that much money.
Yeah, plus you got to support it and turn it and all of that.
That's what I'm saying. It's just, yeah, it's not even in the game plan. You know, you'll notice they don't sell any of those in HRO or gigaparts or anything like that.
Yeah, or maybe get one of those, I think it's 100-foot tall discone that they have just outside, it's somewhere in outside of Tucson, Arizona. It's a former underground missile base. That's what the Air Force put in for their communications, and they actually have a box where visiting hams, you can go inside to the desk and register, and there's a box with coax so you can plug up and use it.
I have heard about that, but I've never been out there to do it. You know, did you ever look at the disc cones that they have on the front of the old World War II cruisers?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating antenna. I've got a small one that's actually a diamond that's made for, you know, it's made as a received scanner antenna. And I noticed the other day in an email I got from, I guess it was DX Engineering, Diamond has come out with a sort of a really small version of a discone for 2 meter and 440 that's made as a mobile antenna for vehicles.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen it in the Diamond catalog. Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is we bought. Let's see, me and this other guy bought this antenna for the shack in Tampa, and it was the MFJ's version. Well, I say their version. I don't know who makes it, but we just thought it would be junk, and because it was only $59 or $69, and for 2 meters, 70 centimeters. Well, it's actually through 6 meters. You know, 6 meter and all over the board. You know, for a no gain antenna, but it was 100% stainless steel. We were shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting design that's been around for years. It's basically an omnidirectional version of really almost like a log periodic because its bandwidth is huge.
Right. Yeah. We used that one for a while, but we tested it. That's it. We did a quick test on it, and while it's a great antenna for local ops, and I mean local, really localized, and it's a good receiving antenna, it did not get out as well as the nice, I think I remember which one we had, but the 2 meter vertical we had.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically no gain. And if you were using it for reliable communications instead of scanning, the drawback would be its bandwidth is so wide, you would have signals coming into your radio that you don't want to, that might cause you some intermod.
I got you. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Well, very good, John. Good to have you in here. Your signal's great as always. Great audio. And yeah, we missed you. I think I don't think you were here for Wednesday night. That's right. I missed you then.
Yeah, it's a really busy time of year for me. I've got, I was out shooting a lot of this week, and now I'm starting today. I'm locked down in a marathon editing mode. I've got a big Blu-ray project I've got to finish and get authored and delivered to a client by Monday. So I've got 4 different workstations humming over here.
Wow. Yeah, and they're none of those are tablets, I'm pretty sure.
No, they're all PCs that I built. That's what happens when you get an engineer involved in doing media work.
Oh, I'm sure that's true. And of course, you need the workstation for the versatility and the strength.
Yeah, plus, my big one, I'm sitting here next to it. It's water. Well, it's not water cooled, but it's fluid cooled. Got a big radiator in it with 6 different fans.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a pretty big workstation. I know that I got a kick way back in the earlier days of building systems. I remember it was funny because I remember seeing this guy. I think it might have been in a magazine. I don't know if it was online or not, but he decided he really wanted to increase the capacity of the motherboard with the instead of having a fan, he took the whole thing and stuck it in a fish tank in deionized water, and he was able to run it as much as he wanted to, overclocked and all that stuff. I just thought it was funny that he did that.
Boy, yeah, there's not a whole lot of margin for error there. If you had a trace or something suddenly go conductive, that would be. But it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea that eventually will fail, I think. Well, very good, John. Good to have you in there. That's Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo. He's in Bellevue. Next was Kevin. Thanks for waiting, Kevin.
Yeah, what's going on, Mr. Paul? Ain't nothing happening here. Just got back from dinner, and I thought I was going to be late for the net. Turned on the radio, and there y'all were. That's a good deal. Yeah, just got back from the restaurant. Try to get here in time. Guess the net's about over.
Almost. We're going to move on to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle, and then the USB net on 144.240 as soon as we finish. This is your number 27 tonight.
Oh, that sounds like a winner there. Got big number, no whammies.
Well, what's funny, Kevin, is I didn't send out a reminder, and I said I forgot. I wish I normally don't forget. No reminder, and we still get 27 people check in. So I'm not going to send out any more reminders.
There you go. That's the best way to do it then. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll let you get out of here. Let you do what you got to do there. Get on with the net. Just checking in, see how everybody was doing. Doing fine over here. Everybody's doing well. Take care out there. KG4 Monday.
Yeah, great. I can hear your parrots over there, and I don't hear that sugar glider though, but I can hear the parrots real well. Anybody else? I can't hear the chicken though. She must be sleeping. Who else? Anybody else with late check-ins? Lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, scanner listeners, if you can. You have to email me. And let's see who else. Oh, the preppers and the what do you call it? End time survivalists. Please come.
KE4TWL.
Which one do you want to be?
End time survivalist. That's cool.
That's right. So it was good to see you at the breakfast this morning, Wes.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great day. Got a nap in, lots of E-skip, lots of 6-meter contact. So good nap for a better day.
Yeah, plus somebody earlier was pointing out how 10 meters was open this evening.
6 meters is open. What are you talking about?
Well, he said 10 meters was open, but I'm sure 6 is as well.
Well, it's vice versa. 6 is open. 10 is. No, there's still E-skip. In fact, I was getting E-skip up to 99.5 megahertz about an hour ago. So it's really hot. KE4TWL.
Yeah, I'll have to jump over there. But don't forget, we got the sideband net in a couple of minutes here. I don't know who else is in there, but it's number 28 on the check-ins, which is an astounding number for a Saturday night when no reminders were sent out. Is there anybody else? Oh, by the way, there was West, Kilo Echo 4, Tango Whiskey, India, down near Watertown. And he's saying it's 6 meters and 10 meters has been east skip all over the place. Who else? Anybody else checking in before we move on? Don't be afraid to be last. I got all night. I don't really, but I just say that. All right, then, very good. We'll move over to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle. Has anybody got anything they want to purchase that they're looking for? Anything? All right, anybody got anything to sell? John, are you still trying to sell that FT991?
Yeah, and it'll end up selling itself when somebody has a chance to look at it on my bench and then hook it to an antenna and see that it's one of the good ones.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. And what's the price now? 7 what?
700.
Oh, it sounds like a bargain in a box for me. That's the 991, which is an all mode, all band, 70 centimeters through 160, as well as System Fusion. It's a nice radio, very nice. I've never owned one, but I've seen it and it's great. All right, anybody else got anything they want to sell?
What's the price now on the 991?
$700 American. Those are American dollars. Does that scare you off, Kevin?
Oh no, I'm going to pass that on to somebody.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was Scott. I misgot the voice. Yep, $700, and of course that's Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, who is good on QRZ on his email. All righty, anybody else got anything to sell? Well, good. We're going to move over to the 144-240. Closing this portion of the net. We're already 9 hours. It's 9:16, and we started at 8 o'clock, so we're busy. Let me move over there. K4 PEW closing the 2 meter portion of that, moving over to 2 meters sideband in about 10 seconds. Hey, hold on, Dennis. Let me get started here. I just jumped in here myself. Let's go ahead and start from the north then, Dennis. Go ahead.
I'm off frequency somehow. 144, 240.
Yeah, that's all right. There's some differences in the how the frequencies are set in these machines, but no, I'm off frequency as well, but only because I normally am not meeting up with other people. And hold on one second. Give me your call again.
Yeah, you sound better. 144, 239, 90.
Yeah, I just showed some differences there. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna stay right there. I can still read you fine there, Dennis. All right, that was Whiskey 9 BOQ up in Castellian Springs. Anybody else north?
KB9RKK.
KB9 RKK. All right, Frank. Who else? North. WB0NOO. Got you in there, Mark. Who else we got north? West. North. Go ahead again. All right, over to the west. Please come in now.
W4AWE.
Very good. We got John over there in Bellevue. Anybody else west? To the south then. KM4VVA. Dan, very good. I got you in there from here in Mount Juliet. Who else south? K1 SPD. That's Scott down there in Laverne. Anybody else in south? Anybody else south? Please come in. Hey, very good. Are you on the beam tonight?
Yeah, but I wasn't running any power. There's about 25 watts.
Okay, that's better. No, you were a little. I could still copy you very well. It just was a very, very mild signal, I'll say.
Yeah, that's what happened when I was, I don't know, about 5 watts, maybe 4 or 5, something like that. I don't know why it was turned down.
It's because you don't let your wife mess with the knobs in it.
It was me. I did it.
All right, very good. Anybody else south, please come down. All right, over to the east. Anybody east of Mount Juliet, please come down. KE4 TWI West in southeast Wilson down near Watertown. Anybody else east? Boy, we're having a big night on sideband tonight. That's the most I think we've ever had. Anybody else east? Good to have you in there, Earl. The Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Anybody else? Late check-ins anywhere around the clock here. Anybody? Any other check-in? All right, I'm going to run through the list in the order we got them. That was me, of course, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey in Mount Juliet. We had Dennis in Castellian Springs, Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec, and we had Frank, Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Kilo in Northwest Wilson, and Mark in Hermitage at Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Oscar, and John over in Bellevue, Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. And then we had Dan, Kilo Mike 4, Victor Victor Alpha, and who else? Yeah, wait, looking down the list here. Kilo 1 SPD, Scott, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta, and he's in Laverne. And of course, Jim down there in Woodbury, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. And let's see, we had Wes down near Watertown, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India, and then Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, which makes, that's 10 of us. That was a record number of check-ins on sideband. I don't know how we managed that, but we set a good number of 28 on the FM portion, and then we ended up with another 10 on the sideband, which is a all-time record for the sideband. Well, appreciate everybody. I mean, let me find out here. Earl, were you able to hear everybody?
Yeah, I think there was like maybe one or two in there I didn't hear, but for the most part, I've got everybody on over here in the old Stick City or Cedar City, as I call it.
I got you. Wes, did you have a similar experience? There were some stations you couldn't hear due to the location and the terrain?
I couldn't hear K1 SPD, but the trains are usually doing it. I don't know why.
You say you couldn't hear Scott out of Laverne? Oh, wow. Scott, were you doing anything different?
I'm on that lousy antenna I'm using right now.
Okay, that's not a brand name lousy, is it?
How about almost ground level? Let's put it that way.
Okay, well, we could see it's a lossy antenna. That might sound a little better.
I'm hearing everybody but Wes.
Oh, okay, very good. I got you. Wes, he was hearing everybody but you, so it's a mutual not hearing. Yeah, very good. I was just trying to get a chance. You know, I got to, you being where you are and Earl where he is, it's in a kind of somewhat awkward. Frank, are you able to hear everybody from up there in Northwest?
I hear everybody, but I did not hear John.
Oh, you weren't able to hear John. That's funny because he's got a big signal. You must be in an awkward position for him. John, are you hearing Frank?
Yeah, he's down in the noise, but I've got a good copy on him.
Okay, there's got to be terrain issues between the two of you guys, or maybe it's the city of Nashville that's in the way.
FM is very strong to me though. KB down RTK.
And FM is very strong. Yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. All righty. Mark, how about you? You're right kind of in the middle. Mark, are you hearing everybody, do you think?
I was not hearing the Laverne station the first time, but I did the second time.
Oh, wow, that's funny because I don't think he's changed anything. He's got almost a ground level antenna.
Yep, and John, I can tell he's in there, but I can't make him out.
So obviously there's an issue because you're in Hermitage there, and not too far a different latitude from Frank, I don't think.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty much on by the weather station, so I'm in Northwest Wilson, not Hermitage.
Okay, so, yeah, so you're really very near where Frank is up to.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay, very good. I was misplacing where you were there. All right, Dan, are you copying everybody from your location in the apartment?
I hear Earl very faint, and I did not pick up West, but everyone else I'm getting.
Okay, very good. Yeah, okay. Earl, you're being copied there with a system over there in Providence, and as well as you said you did or did not copy Wes in Mount Juliet. I mean, down there in Watertown.
I did not copy him at all.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're both in an awkward position there. You don't have the best system placed for an antenna, and he's not in the best location to get to you. So I can barely. He's very weak to me on sideband tonight. All right. Well, very good. I think we got the bases covered. Jim, are you copying everybody?
Almost everybody. I really had a very weak copy on Ken down there in Smyrna, which usually you have a really great copy on him. I don't know. He's like very, very weak tonight. I could hear him, but not good there. KE4TYJ.
Yeah. Well, again, Scott and Laverne at K1SPD, he was on a ground. It's a ground level antenna, so he's a little tough tonight. He says it's a lousy antenna.
I meant, yeah, K1SPD. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, he usually has a great signal on him. Okay, so the lousy ground-mounted antenna would do that. Okay, great, thanks.
All right, very good. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 10. And I'm going to close the net. It's already 9:26, longest net I think we've been running. But it was a good time. I hope was had by all. I try to think we do, but I'm not surprised if people drop out early. It's a long time, an hour and 20 minutes or so, 1 hour and 25. So appreciate all your check-ins and appreciate everybody on sideband. I'll be back on FM in a little bit if my wife doesn't beat me for taking so long. K4PEW closing them.
Yeah, I'm here. KE4TYJ.